Want to become a backend developer by 2025? Good, because backend is where everything happens. It's the engine under the hood of your favorite apps and websites, handling all the data and logic that keeps things running. Whether you're starting from scratch or switching careers, this video is your step-by-step guide to mastering backend development. We'll cover all the essential skills, the right tools for the job, and how those skills are applied in the real world. Let's dive in. Alright, before we jump into code, we need to lay the foundation. Think of it like this: you wouldn't start building a house without understanding blueprints, right? Same goes for web development. You gotta understand how the web actually works. So, what happens when you type in a URL and hit enter? It's not magic, I promise. Your browser, whether it's Chrome, Safari, Firefox, sends a request out into the World Wide Web. That request goes to a special server that hosts the website you're trying to reach. The server then sends back the website's files to your browser, which magically turns them into the web page you see. Now, this entire process relies on a few key players. First up, we've got DNS, or Domain Name System. This is like the phone book of the internet. It translates human-readable website names like google.com into IP addresses that computers understand. Next, there's HTTP, and its more secure sibling HTTPS. These are the languages browsers and servers use to communicate with each other. Think of them as the messengers carrying your requests and the website's data back and forth. And finally, the client-server model. Your browser is the client, making requests, and the web server is, well, the server, responding with the information or actions you need. Understanding these fundamentals is critical for building real-world, scalable web applications. Think about giants like Amazon or Netflix. They handle millions of users simultaneously, and it all boils down to a well-oiled client-server interaction, efficient DNS routing, and secure communication protocols. Now that you're fluent in how the web talks, it's time to learn how to speak its language code. For backend development, you've got a few awesome options. Node.js is a popular choice because it uses JavaScript, which means you can use the same language for both front-end and back-end development. It's like being bilingual but for the web. But hey, maybe you're drawn to the Python world, known for its readability and versatility. Or perhaps Java, the workhorse of enterprise applications, is more your style. C# is another solid contender, especially if you're diving into the Microsoft ecosystem. The choice is yours, but for this example, let's focus on node.js. No matter which language you pick, you'll need to spend a solid 4 to 6 weeks grasping the fundamentals. We're talking about variables, data types, functions, and loops. And don't forget about object-oriented programming, or OOP. Node.js is known for its speed and scalability, which are essential for modern web applications. Plus, it's got this awesome community and a ton of frameworks and libraries that make back-end development smoother. You've got your hard hat, your blueprint, you're starting to learn the language of construction, but now you need the right tools to build something incredible. This is where the back-end ecosystem comes in. It's a collection of tools, libraries, and frameworks that, once you master them, will make your life as a developer way easier. First up, we've got linters and debuggers. These are like your code quality control team. Linters help you catch errors and enforce coding-style guidelines, ensuring your code is clean and consistent. Debuggers, on the other hand, are your detective tools for tracking down and fixing those pesky bugs that inevitably pop up in your code. Next, we have package managers. Think of these as app stores for your code. Node.js uses NPM, which stands for Node Package Manager, and Python uses pip. These tools make it super easy to install, manage, and share reusable code packages created by other developers. JavaScript can be a bit unpredictable at times. That's where TypeScript comes in. TypeScript is like a superset of JavaScript that adds static typing, catching errors early on, and making your code more robust and reliable. Step 4. Version control and GitHub. Picture this. You've been coding for days, making amazing progress on your project. Then, disaster strikes. Your computer crashes, your code is gone, and you're left wondering what life would be like if you just hit save more often. Don't worry, we've all been there. But fear no more, because version control is here to rescue you. Git is the superhero of version control systems. It's like a time machine for your code, letting you track changes, revert to previous versions, and collaborate with other developers seamlessly. Think of it like Google Docs for your code, but way more powerful. Now GitHub is like the social network for your code. It's built on top of Git and provides a platform to host your code repositories, collaborate with others, and showcase your projects to the world. Learning the basics of Git will take you a week or two, but it's time well spent. Mastering commands like add, commit, push, and pull will become second nature, and you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Step 5. Mastering databases. Alright, let's talk about data. Because at its core, backend development is all about managing and manipulating data, and that's where databases come in. They're the storage units of the web holding all the information that your applications need to function. There are two main types of databases: relational databases and non-relational databases. Relational databases like MySQL and PostgreSQL store data in structured tables with rows and columns. They're great for applications that require data integrity and consistency, like banking systems or e-commerce platforms. Non-relational databases like MongoDB and Redis offer more flexibility. They store data in various formats such as documents, key-value pairs, or graphs. No matter which type of database you choose, you'll need to learn how to interact with them using a language called SQL, or Structured Query Language, for relational databases, or database-specific query languages for non-relational ones. Step 6. API development. Now let's talk about how different applications talk to each other, because in the real world, your code doesn't live in isolation. It needs to communicate and share data with other applications. That's where APIs come in. Application Programming Interfaces. Think of APIs as messengers that allow different software systems to exchange data and functionality. REST APIs are the gold standard for web applications. REST stands for Representational State Transfer, which might sound intimidating, but it's all about using standard HTTP methods like GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE to interact with resources. GraphQL is a newer API technology that offers a more efficient and flexible way to query and manipulate data. Instead of making multiple requests to different endpoints like in REST, GraphQL allows you to specify exactly what data you need in a single request. Step 7. Authentication and security. Security is non-negotiable. In the world of back-end development, you're not just building features, you're responsible for protecting sensitive user data and ensuring that your applications are secure from attacks. Authentication is the first line of defense. It's how you verify the identity of users trying to access your application. JWT, or JSON Web Tokens, is a popular method for securely transmitting information between parties. OAuth, on the other hand, allows users to log into your application using their existing accounts from providers like Google, Facebook, or Twitter. But authentication is just the beginning. You also need to protect your applications from common web vulnerabilities, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, XSS, and cross-site request forgery, CSRF. These attacks can be used to steal data, take control of user accounts, or even deface your entire website. Step 8. Deployment and scaling. You've built an amazing application. It works flawlessly on your local machine, but now it's time to set it free into the wild, to let users interact with it. This is where deployment comes in, the process of making your application accessible on the internet. Docker has revolutionized the way we deploy applications. It allows you to package your application and all its dependencies into a container, a lightweight and portable unit that can run consistently across different environments. Once you have your application containerized, you need to choose a platform to host it. Cloud platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure offer a wide range of services for deploying, managing, and scaling your applications. They provide the infrastructure, tools, and resources you need to get your application up and running quickly and efficiently. As your user base grows, you'll need to scale your application to accommodate the increased load. And there you have it, your complete roadmap to becoming a back-end developer by 2025. I know it seems like a lot, but trust me, breaking it down step by step makes it manageable, and before you know it, you'll be building the back-end systems that power the web. Remember, the key is to stay curious, keep learning, and never be afraid to experiment. Subscribe now. Love tech, AI, and the latest innovations? Stay ahead with our exciting content. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss an update. New videos every day on AI, tech trends, and more. like, comment, and share to support the channel.